Happy 10th
anniversary
Miles of Hope from Kathy's
crew.
I had started to do some fundraising for national organizations because I had lost my 36-year-old sister to breast cancer. And on one of the 3-day walks for a national organization, I met down at Efron. And when we said, let's start our own foundation to help our friends and neighbors here in the Hudson Valley.
Kathy Varanach and I got together to start the Miles of Hope Breast Cancer Foundation, hoping that we would be able to help people in treatment for breast cancer who reside in all 8 counties of the Hudson Valley. So we think we've succeeded in doing that.
We have 4 pillar programs.
We have a peer-to-peer program so that someone can speak with a breast cancer survivor when they have been newly diagnosed. We'll help walk them through the process so that they shouldn't ever feel alone.
We have a scholarship program for college-bound seniors, Healing Vibrations, which is a therapeutic music program for people who are undergoing treatment. And my favorite program of all, the Medical Gap Care program, where we help individuals who are experiencing a financial crisis going through the treatment of cancer that reside in the Hudson Valley. And we pay anything from gas, food, rent, mortgage, clothing, you name it, we pay for it.
I had breast cancer. I got involved, had it again. My daughter was a scholarship recipient. I can't begin to tell you the importance of the organization.
My husband had went through a lot of red tape. We had a lot of false hopes and promises, and no other organization came through for us but Miles of Hope. So I'll be forever indebted to Miles of Hope.
Happy 10th anniversary, Miles of Hope, from the Hits for Hope Committee.
I'm so happy to be part of an organization that actually helps with those immediate needs of people that are going through a crisis.
There was a lovely lady, Anna, and she couldn't speak any English. She came in to see me with her daughter, and Anna simply needed a mammography and medications, which were very expensive if you're not insured. So we made those arrangements. We got the authorization right away from Miles of Hope to go ahead and help her. We explained to her that this is a gift, and she couldn't believe it, and the tears just started. Here's this woman with relatively nothing, and she's not looking for anything. She just needed a little help through, and what she got was far more than she ever anticipated.
Happy 10th anniversary, Miles of Hope, and I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to celebrate my mother, for her grandchildren who never got a chance to meet her, and we celebrate her every year, so thank you so much for that opportunity.
I have survived breast cancer twice and have been fortunate enough to have the support and care, medical coverage that so many people don't have, and this organization provides that to people in the Hudson Valley, and I am absolutely committed to this organization to help others.
A few years ago, my good friend Rita Rothfeld came and joined the committee with me, and we worked together.
Little did I know that Miles of Hope would be even more important in my life.
I was diagnosed in October 2012 at the age of 31. It was a shock, but there was great support here, and there were people behind me all the way.
Turned out not with the results we wanted, but we have to say that, you know, Sherry now, it's a year later, she's cancer-free.
Yay.
It's just a phenomenal organization, especially putting money back into the local community. That's huge, very helpful to the people who are suffering.
A friend of mine who had breast cancer before I did, and she was also able to benefit from Miles of Hope.
Happy 10th anniversary, Miles of Hope.
Last year, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I'm almost finished my treatments. But at the Dyson Center, while you're getting your chemo, you can get the most wonderful massage from Miles of Hope. And it's just one of the best things ever. It's the little things that count, and that's what this organization's all about.
Happy 10th anniversary, Miles of Hope.
I got involved because I am a 5.5-year survivor of breast cancer.
As a volunteer, when you see the outcome and see how appreciative they are, makes me feel good inside to know that, you know, I don't know if I would have the strength that a lot of them, and seeing what she had to go through and seeing what Rhoda went through, I don't know if I would have that kind of strength.
What better organization than as a woman to be involved in an organization that's an incredible asset to our community because it helps women in need.
I'm a 3.5-year survivor of breast cancer, And I got involved with Miles of Hope because I think it's the greatest organization because everything stays local and there's no big office building with palatial suites. It's bare bones as far as staff goes, and it's volunteer driven.
This is my partner Elena, and she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it kind of got her involved. She was one of the honorees at the Goals for Hope. This is her on the shirt, at Goals for Hope, and from there we just have been volunteering, helping out the organization because we just think it's a valuable part of our community.
Goals for Hope wishes you a happy 10th anniversary.
It is hard sometimes to understand, if you haven't been down the road, the impact of a diagnosis like this, and to know that there is support in your community, that you don't have to do it alone, is absolutely invaluable.
When you're faced with cancer, there are a lot of decisions that you're going to have to go through, and you know, the more people you can speak to who have gone through similar experiences, it helps you make the right decision for you in consultation with your doctors.
Just know your body.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Know a change, you know, even like just when you shower or anything, and know that it can happen.
I was diagnosed 3 years ago, and it was during that time that I came to my first brunch and also went to my first fun run. It was approximately a week after my surgery, and I did go to the brunch for the very first time and sat with my family, and it was by far one of the most uplifting feelings when you sit there, and the support you feel from the people I didn't even know cheering me on.
My husband Bob and I participate in several Miles of Hope events every year, but the one that's nearest and dearest to our hearts is the Family Fun Run and Walk. We've been on the committee for 8 years, and we're a sponsor every year.
Happy anniversary, Miles of Hope.
Happy 10th anniversary, Miles of Hope!
We're representing Letty's Ladies.
Here's to 10 years and 100 more. Swoosh!
I happen to be a 30-year breast cancer survivor, so I'm a very lucky lady.
I was 10 years old when my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. You'll never get what the women go through. I get the gravity of it, so Miles of Hope came along at the perfect time in my life.
And it's a pleasure to be part of it because there is no agenda. There is just women that want to do good for the community.
I'm able to celebrate my mom and her 30 years of being a survivor. I've met unbelievable people.
As you can see today, this is not a diagnosis for one individual, it's a diagnosis for a family, it's a diagnosis for a circle of friends. Right. And it's very, very important that that kind of help is given, and in the Hudson Valley, it's given best by Miles of Hope.
Right.
Happy 10th anniversary, Miles of Hope!
It epitomizes the idea of giving back to your community and becoming involved in a force that you believe in and see an avenue in which you know that your efforts and your time is well spent and really, really does such good in the communities and in the areas that you live in.
You know, you could support it by writing a check, and that's fine. Or you could support it by volunteering, by coming to one of these tremendous events that happen, which are not only fundraisers, but they're fundraisers, I would say. Take the D out of that, in terms of them being great activities for families, great activities to get involved in.
Happy anniversary, Miles of Hope!
A lot of people wind up coming to this because they know somebody who's a breast cancer survivor or such, and mine was actually the opposite, where I got involved with all of these tournaments beforehand, and then my sister developed breast cancer, was diagnosed with it, and I felt really blessed because I had made all these associations through being a participant. I knew who to call to help her.
And no one should be ashamed that I need some help. And you know, it's Miles of Hope where we turned, and we're very, very glad we did, because it helped us get through this.
I think to describe all of the women that volunteer for this organization, they are women who are not looking for any recognition. They quietly do their job. It is done so well. It is so fine-tuned.
What's one or two words that describes Miles of Hope Breast Cancer Foundation?
Promise. Bravery. Hardworking.
Ray of hope.
Strength. Perseverance. Support. Sportsmanship.
Committed.
Good cause.
Beat cancer.
Community.
Pride.
Dedication.
Overwhelming generosity.
Inspiring. Strong. Fun. Devoted.
Hope.
Sacrifice.
Courageous.
Women helping women.
Inspirational.
Unity.
Mom and friends.
Wonderful.
Grassroots.
Community support.
Inspiration.
Amazing.
Gina.
Honor. Happy anniversary, Miles of Hope.
Is there any other organization around that does so much good for the community?
Every summer in August, the Miles of Hope has the soccer tournament out at LaGrange Park. It's just such a joyous occasion that you wouldn't know that we were out there trying to raise money to help women that have breast cancer. It really is just a very uplifting event.
And I am so honored to be honored by these wonderful committee members, community, everyone. And given to me, I hope I've given to them back a little bit. And that's all I'm going to say, because it's too hot out here.
Thank you, Miles of Hope.
About 5.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with inflammatory breast cancer. And I would sit in the chairs at chemo and visit with other people. And you know, I felt very fortunate in the fact that I knew economically my husband and I were okay with finances, but there were so many other people that weren't. And so I knew when I got better that I was going to give back.
Now, looking back, I like to try and share some of what I've learned with other people, and I'm always trying to help the next person that's diagnosed. I'm always willing to meet with them and let them know that I'm there for them, and you know, Miles of Hope was the push that got me started.
Happy 10th anniversary from the Double D's!
Happy 10th anniversary, Miles of Hope. Thanks for all you do.